And welcome to the castle, everybody. This is Nightsaber Z42, and today's tutorial for Roll20 is going to be an odd one. This is going to be a little bit about rollable tables and what you can do with them and workarounds for rollable tables limitations in a very odd fashion. I'm actually going to make a rollable random weather table. So what does that mean? Well, let's say, for example, that my players are in a certain biome. To increase their immersion or even affect gameplay, I could roll on the um, rollable weather table, and it'll actually let them know what that is. So I'm gonna get rid of a couple things because I'm going to start from scratch all the way through. And there you go. You can kind of see a little bit of what I have done to actually get this working. So the reason why I kind of wanted to do something like this is because I don't really know a whole lot about rollable tables. And I think this would be a great practice just to kind of get used to how it all works and using handouts to provide links for all of that, which I will actually show you. So the first thing I'm going to tell you, I'm actually going to use a little bit of a supplement. I'm going to be using 5e weather rules, all terrain types, as my guide as to like what different weathers are in each biome and like what their effects could be. And it's by Lair of Dragons. I would highly recommend it. Hey, look, it's on sale for 79 cents. So it's very interesting. It opens up the door for new ideas. So let's get right into it. First thing that we're going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and yes, I'm going to delete that even though I just made it. It'd probably be better if you made a folder and labeled it weather. That way you can have all of your handouts there. But we're also going to add a handout to that. So let's go ahead and edit it. And the first biome that I would like to do, probably one that your players will be intimately familiar with, is the grassland, um, grassland biome. So what we can do here, we can do grassland weather as its name. You can even include a picture there if you'd like, although at a later time, I would probably make this accessible to my players. That way they can see all what the different weather types will actually do. That way I don't have to explain it like all the time, but they'll actually be able to see it in chat as well. So with our handout ready, let's go ahead and drop down to the description and the notes. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to make a table. Now, I actually have to go over here and count my table real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're going to need a 2x9 table. And we're going to label this. Very nice labeling. Can I get a header, please? There we go. Just so I can separate my D100 and my grassland. Or actually, let's just do weather description. That's better. Oh my gosh, this script just keeps on moving over and over. And so this table right here is where the bulk of the information is going to be for my players or for myself when I'm referring to this specific chart. And so the reason why I have we're rolling a 100 is because I'm actually going to be working with weights. And when we start looking at the actual rollable tables, let's take the this, or maybe not. I don't think, yeah. None of these are actually weighted. So basically, when we talk about weights, we're actually talking about a percentage. How often will this event occur for us? So let's create a new table under Rollable Tables. By the way, this is a huge complaint that I have with Roll20. You actually cannot move these around. At least I've never been able to move them around. I don't know if you can move them around, but I've never been able to move it around. So if you make a lot of rollable tables, make sure that you actually write them in the order in some sort of coherent order. That way you can have them all there. As you can see, I have my different random encounters that I pulled from Humblewood, although it already, if you bought the Humblewood module for Roll20, it's already there in a handout, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, I haven't actually looked into that, but so let's name our new table Weather Grasslands, and there's a reason why I'm starting with weather. Players will not be able to roll from this specific table, but let's go ahead and add some items. So we're gonna add some heavy weather, or what am I doing? Heavy rain, not the PS3 title. We're gonna include some light rain. No, gotta actually click save changes, huh? I guess heavy forecast, or that would be heavy cloud cover, I guess. Heavy cloud cover. Also light cloud cover. And I actually need to change this because this is the one caveat that I have to 5e weather rules is that it separates it by biome, which is great. I just wish they had actually separated by biome and then for each biome separate it by season. That would have been pretty cool. So instead of heavy rain, I'm actually going to go precipitation. Sorry. I practiced this before and I kept misspelling precipitation, so whoops. Precipitation. There we go. I spelled it right. Heavy cloud cover, light cloud cover. Oh, clear skies, of course. Gotta have clear skies. We're also gonna add strong wind, not sins, winds. That always seems to be a favorite in other supplements. Yeah, it's even in the Dungeon Master's Guide, if I'm not mistaken, which you could also pull that material into a Rollable 20. I'm also going to add, let's see, above average temperature and below average temperature. Just in case, you know, like if it's summer and you have an above average temperature, I want that to affect the players mechanically. Or if it's wintertime and we're below average temperature, I want that also to be a specific mechanic for the players. So we have, let's see, 8 different events here. So I don't think I might need one more. Hold up a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I am pretty good. So let's go ahead and label these. We have heavy precipitation. We have light precipitation. We have heavy cloud coverage. We also have light cloud coverage. Clear skies. What is that song? Blue skies? Oh, yeah. Above average temperature. And we have below average temperature. There we go. And also strong winds. I totally didn't even get that. Whoops. And that's not in the order that I put it. And that, it doesn't have to be in the same order, but that will literally bug me if it's not in the same order. So we got strong winds. There we go. And all that's left is to assign a weight for all of these descriptions, or for these different weather types. And so the weight, let me go ahead and pull this up so you can see the weight is optional. You could leave it at 1 and it'll treat every item inside of that rollable table as an equal, just like we all should be. And so what a weight does is the number of times this item actually appears in the table, and it actually is better to think about it in a percent. So for example, if I want clear skies to be a certain, to occur more often, let's say that, then I want clear skies to be at, let's just say, maybe like a 20%. So I'm going to bump it up to 20, and now this item appears 20 times out of 100 in our little table, or 20% of the time. So let's go in and assign all of these a numerical value. And I think Hold on, I'm gonna have to actually do some serious math here. I am actually pulling these values from the supplemental materials, which means I'm gonna have to make a change because I actually didn't, I added a couple things. So we got strong winds, which would be 81 to math. Okay. So actually this might work to our advantage. Yeah, actually, let's just leave it as is. So this will be 91 to 95, and then this will be 96 to 100. So there we go. We have our weighted, we have our weights, or our what we're rolling for the D1, what we're rolling for the percentile dice. And now all we have to do is transfer this into our rollable tables. So this is going to be 10. Light precipitation will be 15 because it's 11 through 25. Oops. Heavy cloud coverage will be 15 as well. Very interesting that they did that. But then again, light cloud coverage will be 20. Whopping 20%, really. Interesting that. Also, I have no idea what happens if you put it as a negative value. That just seems kind of weird that they would include that. I can go to negative values, which means it'll never happen. So why put that in? Just say it. Okay, so this is going to be, the strong ones will be a 10% chance, the above average temperature will be a 5% chance, and then the below average will be a 5% chance. So what you do not want to do, you do not want to put the numbers that you actually put for your rollable table into the weight, because that's not how it works. This is the percent right here. So make sure that you actually get your math right. So we have 10 plus 15, 25, 40, 60, 80, 90, and then the 2 5s will make a 10 for 100. Okay, so we got our math good. We got our math right. So let's go ahead and save the changes, and remember what you have labeled your table as, because that's going to become very important. So here comes the, here's where things get nice and dicey. Yeah, you see what I did there. So we are going to basically make this into a rollable table itself. So that way, all I have to do is open the handout and just click on weather descriptions, and it'll automatically roll it, and it'll also add, well, it'll basically just roll what it is. So let's see. In order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click link, make sure that we're not opening in a new window, although I don't really think that matters. And to what URL should this link go to, question mark, we're going to add that thing, which looks like angry eyebrow on your person's right side. I actually have no idea what that's called. We're going to add double square brackets so we don't have to see the die roll, and then 1D100, and don't forget to close it off with ending square brackets like a good programmer boy should do. And let's see if we have it. Good to go. Good to go. So save changes. Let's go ahead and click that. Bada bing, bada boom. We got a 15. So that's good. You could do that. The only problem is you're going to have to take that 15 and look at your table and then see that it's light precipitation. We can do better than that. In fact, we're going to do better than that. Instead of rolling the D100, we're actually going to force the link to roll the actual rollable table, like it should. So let's do that. Let's make it so that this changes to a rollable table. So let's go ahead and highlight that, unlink, and then we're going to put in a different kind of a link in the same place, but it's going to reach out to something else. So start with your same angry eyebrow, and we are going to do double brackets 1T for one roll on the table, and we're going to have another square bracket, and you're going to put the name of your rollable table as is, with the hyphen and everything, capitalizations, any numbers that you have, that all needs to be in there, because if you don't, you're going to blow up your computer. Just kidding. Not really. So once you have that, go ahead and click insert link and save changes. Let's give it a test. Clear skies. Cool. So now my players, if they really wanted to, I could say, let's say that one of my ranger friends is going out hunting and he spends a couple of days out there. I could have him roll that table and see what kind of a weather he's got. Or I could totally do this myself and have it as a macro. So in order to do that, let's say that we really wanted this to be a macro where I could roll on it anytime. Well, let's go back to the rollable table / macros, and we're gonna go ahead and add a new macro. I'm gonna name this one, what did I name it? Weather grasslands as well. Okay, so our actions, let's go ahead and start creating our little macro formula. Always begin it with the ampersand and weird bracket. Let's go ahead and make the template default just so it actually looks all nice and pretty. If you don't, it actually looks like poop. So don't do that. Like literally it looks like poop. Continue with 2 square brackets, and the name is going to be equal to let's put weather for the day. That seems plausible, right? It's the weather of the day. Go ahead and end your brackets, create 2 new brackets because we're still in the original brackets, if I'm not mistaken, and let's go ahead and roll the table. So 1T, then another square brackets, the name of your rollable table, which is with the grasslands. End it off with your 3 square brackets and close it off with your 2 normal ones. Let's give it a test, and boom. By the way, without the template, like if I got rid of this right here, I'm just going to go ahead and it would just kind of look like that. It would look very ugly, minus the brackets. And actually, that would only work if there was if you had more text, which I'm actually going to add more text when I actually use my when I start adding descriptions to what all of these different weather effects do. So go ahead, click in the bar, and now all I have to do is just click that. And if I make a rollable table for each biome, I could just replace it, replace the current weather with the next biome that I happen to be in, and bada bing, bada boom. So that is how to create a rollable table. If this is all of the information that you're looking for, then feel free just to give that big thumb up to help support the video and be on your merry way. But the last bit of thing that you could do, if you were so inclined, make each one of these weather types into a actual mechanic. So for example, heavy weather, in 5e weather rules, heavy rain, or as we call it, heavy precipitation, makes the land as difficult terrain, which is all right. So a downpour falls from the sky, not the ground. I want to do something like all perception checks are made at disadvantage. Treat. What is the actual wording? Treat the land as difficult terrain. And I think that would probably be it. Oh, and Yeah, actually, survival checks. Whoops. Yeah, checks made to track are made at are made at disadvantage. Whoops. There we go. Yeah, survival checks made to track are made with disadvantage. And then, of course, the reason why I'm doing it in all caps is so that their eyes are instantly drawn to that. So, boop, perception, disadvantage, difficult terrain, survival, to track, disadvantage. Boom. So that's all well and good. Whoops, don't want to do that. So what we'll do, because if I just roll this and I get heavy precipitation, it's not actually going to say a downpour falls from the sky and all of the other texts. See? Except it didn't even roll it. Yeah, it did. It was the first one. So it didn't even say that. So what you would have to do, go to your rollable table, and for heavy precipitation, you're actually going to have to include that whole entire text. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird, but hey, we already saw it in right here in the actual rollable tables from the Humblewood campaign. So now, when I roll on the table, let me clear. And actually, just for fun, let's go ahead and use that until we get to, there we go. Heavy precipitation, a downpour falls from the sky. All perception checks are made at disadvantage. Treat the land as difficult terrain. Survival checks made to track are made at disadvantage. And sorry about the right alignment. Kind of wish it was left alignment. I wonder if I can change that in the macro itself. But it tells you what happens and what it does. Or it tells you the weather of the day, and it tells you what it does, if there are any benefits. So I would do that for each. I would add a little description for each weather effect. Even if it's something like clear skies, nothing happens. I would definitely add a little bit of flavor text there. So that's it for the full entire tutorial. That's what I would do. I hope you guys gained some insight on how to use some rollable tables, mixing it in with your handouts and whatnot. And the only reason why I would have this is so I could actually see every possibility and even maybe make my players roll it if they want that extra duty or whatnot. Gives them something to do, I guess. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have any ideas for any other tutorials that you would like to see here on the channel, feel free to comment down there. And please give this video a huge thumbs up to help support this series, and pass it on to anybody else you think might get a kick out of it or learn something. I will see you guys in the next video.